Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Wasmatic and welcome to Apex Legends Training Ground, where we are about to embark on our third episode in the series of detailed weapon data analysis. Sounds really fun, doesn't it? I like it. Looking at what are the actual stats for each weapon. Today, episode 3, we're covering shotguns. There are 3 shotguns in the game. The Peacekeeper, the EVA-8 Auto, and then we have the legendary or tier 3 item over here, whatever you want to call it, which is the Mastiff. Now, bit of a spoiler for you guys here. Unsurprisingly, the Mastiff's the best shotgun in the game. Thank you for watching. Nah, I'm just kidding. I am going to do the detailed stuff. It's boring. Because the Mastiff is a rare to loot item, and these two are relatively abundant if you're looting, and certainly if you get a couple of kills, you will probably eventually find one of these too. There is no clear winner between these two in the context of the game. There is a clear winner in terms of the stats, but with a little bit of a twist at the end, which I found quite interesting and will give you some food for thought. Every video I'm watching at the moment is saying, this gun, the Peacekeeper, is the best. I've seen plenty of videos, best shotgun in the game. People are announcing it. This is the best shotgun in the game. And you know what? I'm not so sure, you know. So, don't forget the Mozambique shotgun is a pistol, so we're not including that in this episode. We included that in episode 1. If you'd like to watch episode 1, click on the top right hand corner of the screen where the playlist, and you can watch episode 1 for pistols and episode 2 for SMGs. Right, with that over and done with, let's get on to the stats. I'll do these very quickly. Now there's a slight anomaly with the Peacekeeper, and this is part of the problem, part of the reason that I'm suggesting this isn't the best weapon in the game, one of the reasons. But let's see. So in terms of its damage output per shot, it's the biggest hitter after the Mastiff. It does 110 damage to the body all day long. All day long, 110 damage to the body. But here's the real anomaly. If I aim down the sights at the head, I get 150. If I shoot from the hip, 165. 165. And then I get 165 when I aim down the sight. And it took me a while to work out what was happening here, and I realised shotguns are the only weapon in the game that have a damage reduction due to distance and a damage increase due to proximity. But it's not because the damage drops off, so you can still fire and each pellet from the shot will do exactly the same amount of damage. Well, that's thrown me. I've just hit for 115. I don't understand these stats at all. It just doesn't make sense. That's 90. Okay. That's really weird. So we've got a couple of stats here. 110. Or further away. I had a 115. You did see it. 115. Okay. That's very confusing. But, thankfully, I can just slightly amend my spreadsheet here. And there we go. So I'll show you that spreadsheet in a minute. So that's the EVA-8 Auto. Then we go on to the... Sorry, that's the Peacekeeper. Then we go on to the EVA-8 Auto. A lot less damage. Shoot in the body, 63. Let's just try this from range. 63, 66. 63. 48. You can see where it's showing me which shots have hit and which haven't. 66. I'm going to keep it at 63 because most of the damage you'll ever do with this is 63. That seems to be the highest stat. Anyway, I'll move on because there's a lot to talk about in this category and I want to do it very quickly because the last recording I did of this was nearly 22 minutes. So, 63 damage into the body, 90 into the head. I can't get any higher figures than 90 despite trying. It's not like 90 all day long. But into the body, let's just test it again. 63, 63, 63. Okay, I'm going to bring in quickly the Mastiff. I mean, this is a rare item. You'll be very lucky if you loot this. Here's the big thing about the Mastiff. It has its own unique ammunition type, and you only get 20. So once those 20 are gone, drop it and find something else. So you're taking a gamble when you use the Mastiff, but in terms of its damage, it's massive. Absolutely massive. Body shots are 144. The next highest is the Peacekeeper at 110. Headshots, you ready? 288. That's enough to one-shot kill a player in full armour, assuming no damage mitigation from the armour, which I am. So, the damage multiplication factor. So let me bring in the spreadsheet, because this is pretty much a judgment call from you now in terms of the stats that I've pulled out of the game, what it means in terms of firefights that you will get involved in, and what it means in terms of how accurate you may or may not be with each weapon. So, having tested the Peacekeeper, I pulled out this line of data. Again, 6 clip size, 110 damage to the body, 150 to the head. It gives us a 1.36 times multiplier. That's the lowest of any weapon I've tested so far. 660 from total damage from a clip, 6 times 110. 900 from a clip, it's 6 times 150. Can you one-shot kill a player without any armour? Yes, at 110, and yes at 150. So, yes you can. You can kill in a full clip, and you can kill in a full clip with armour, because that's 660 and 900. The rate of fire is slow. It's slower than the EVA-8 Auto, and it's slower than the Mastiff, but its recoil is low as well. So the EVA-8 Auto has slightly higher recoil. Not by much, but slightly higher. But this is where the data becomes a little bit muddy. Oh, sorry, these are the figures up here for the 115 and the 165. So that's not right. Oh yes it is. Well, it's a 1.43 times multiplier. Interestingly, if we kept that at 110, it's a 1.5 times multiplier. Let's keep it at 115. Let's take, these are the best figures, these are the worst figures. Okay, so even at that number, the headshot multiplier is 1.43. It's still quite low, but it's the same as the EVA-8 Auto. Now this is a best case scenario. I'd be surprised if you're hitting this accuracy in the game. But this is where the figures become a little bit muddy. It takes 6.48 seconds to empty the clip of 6 cartridges. So let's assume you're emptying the clip of 6 cartridges, and in a gunfight, one-on-one, you're hitting the body for 110. It's a fair assumption to make. Let's assume you hit all of the shots, but you're hitting the body and you're hitting for 110. That gives you a damage per second of 102 DPS. Okay, you then take the EVA Auto. Here it has 8 shots in the magazine, so 2 more, but it empties that magazine in 3.79 seconds. Every video I've seen so far says the Peacekeeper is without a doubt the best shotgun in the game. And if you look at these stats, the greens are where it's the winner, hands down. I'm not including the Mastiff in this assessment, by the way, because I'm just looking at the standard shotguns. It does more damage than the EVA-8 with a single shot. It does more damage in a headshot. It's got a bigger headshot multiplier. Well, there. No, it hasn't actually. Sorry. I'll take the green off that. That's even Stevens. It does more damage in terms of the magazine. It does so a magazine at 660 damage compared to 504 for the EVA-8 Auto. 900 compared to 720. Does it one-shot kill? Yes, it does. It can if you headshot. And no armor. But its DPS is low. 6.48 seconds. Let's turn this music down. 6.48 seconds to empty the magazine means its damage per second drops down to 102, and its damage per second to the head drops down to 139. If you then compare that to the DPS for the EVA-8 Auto, if you're in a one-on-one gunfight, what's the most important thing? For me, it's putting out more damage on the other player than they're dropping onto you. So if you can put out 190 damage in a second compared to 139 damage in a second, assuming the same level of accuracy between the Peacekeeper and the EVA-8 Auto, which I think is a fair assumption, I'd go for the EVA-8 Auto. Despite all these big hitting numbers here, it's so slow. It's a very slow weapon to fire. I mean, this is 3.79 seconds. That's nearly 3 seconds faster. 2.8 seconds faster. 2.7 seconds faster. I can do math, honestly. So here's the question for you. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Mastiff has it. Yeah, it's far and away the biggest hitting weapon. It's got the massively high DPS. It's only got 4 shots in the cartridge. That doesn't matter because it's doing the DPS. It's 2.55 seconds to empty those 4 cartridges. And assuming you're accurate, yeah, it's the best one. You've only got 20 shots with that, and then the ammo's gone, and you have to throw it away. So my judgment, for me, I want to kill faster. I don't want to die but have the biggest numbers. So for me, it's got to be the EVA8 Auto. Now these are figures for weapons without any modifications on whatsoever. So let's look at the pretty graph. And that's a surprise find for me because I've seen so many other YouTube guys who are saying, oh, you need to get the Peacekeeper, by far and away the best weapon in the game. And it is, when you look at these figures, until you get to the damage output per second. Anyway, the grey is the Mastiff. Grey bars are the Mastiff. The orange bars are the EVA8 Auto, and the blue is the Peacekeeper. So let's go from left to right. Body damage, yeah, the Mastiff has it in a single shot. The Peacekeeper has it is second, and then the EVA8 Auto is third. Headshot damage, the Mastiff has it at 288, massive, 2 times the multiplier. Second is the Peacekeeper at 150, and then a lowly EVA8 Auto at 90. Right, fine. Then you get onto the total damage from a single clip. The total damage is 660 from the Peacekeeper. But look at this. The total damage from the Mastiff from a single clip is only 576. Because you go back to this, it's only got 4 cartridges in. Yeah, it empties in 2.55 seconds, so it's fast, but it's 4 cartridges doing 144 damage into the body, 576. But the same as the Wingman, when you then take that and you do the headshots with the 2 times multiplier, that jumps to a massive 1,152 damage from a single clip, assuming 100% accuracy on your headshots. These are best and worst case scenarios here. So again, total damage in headshots, the Mastiff is first, the Peacekeeper is second, and the EVA8 Auto is third. But here's where it gets interesting. You get in a 1v1 fight and you want to kill quickly. What suddenly appears? From nowhere, the EVA8 Auto, assuming the same level as accuracy as the Peacekeeper, you're smashing it. You're putting out more damage per second. It's got more cartridges in the magazine and it fires faster. So it's putting out more damage. You then drop that onto the headshot scenario and it's again 190. Now, yes, sure, the Mastiff has it, but the chances of getting a Mastiff every game are few and far between. So I'm going to call it, guys, actually. For me, the EVA8 Auto does more damage per second, and I think in a firefight, the damage per second is more important than the big numbers in terms of single hits. Now, there is slightly higher recoil for the EVA8 Auto. So, where is it? Recoil. There we go. It's low recoil for the Peacekeeper and the Mastiff, but it's medium. And it's not huge, but it means that there is an accuracy factor that comes into play. The one thing we do know from shotguns is you've got to be close quarters. Headshots are really good. You can't fire them at range. Obviously anyone who plays an FPS game knows that shotguns are close quarters. But I'm going to call it that the best shotgun, certainly for a one-on-one fight in game, is the EVA8 Auto. Bit of a surprise, and I'm directly contradicting probably every other YouTuber I have seen who has done this analysis. So there you go. Come and tell me if I'm wrong. Come and tell me if you disagree and why. And if you want to hang about for the next episode, I'm doing assault rifles. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.